Welcome to CannaWatch. I'm your host, Danny Brasco.
Hey guys, I'm Jennifer Tapiero.
And today joining us from KHIRON Life Sciences is Chris Naprawa. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks very much for joining us. KHIRON Life Sciences is making major waves in South America and internationally right now. And we're really excited to talk to you about cannabis market, CBD, and everything you guys are doing to educate the international waters about it.
Yeah, you guys are doing huge, big things, big cannabis moves. We love it.
Yeah, well, you know, the company's just over 2 years old. Now we've expanded to 9 countries. We're selling products in 3 continents. We're 260 people. It's been a wild ride so far.
Wow, and you guys are mainly based in Colombia, correct?
Bogota's our head office.
Bogota head office, also Uruguay.
Yeah, Uruguay, Peru, Chile, Brazil now, Panama, Frankfurt, London, and me and 2 others in a WeWork in Toronto.
That's absolutely fantastic. I actually have never been to any of those places. What's the cannabis industry like over there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, the thing that I'm convinced of more than anything is, you know, as we evolve in this cannabis industry, that it's a global phenomenon.
Right.
You know, it's not a Canada thing or a California thing. This is happening all around the world. And because of social media and because of the internet, like, everyone's learning about it very, very quickly. And everywhere I go, and I travel the world nonstop, you know, everywhere I go, people are people, and they have the same needs, the same desires, they have the same problems that they're looking to fix. And, you know, when we talk about the medical market, about 30% of adults, doesn't matter where you're from, go through some period of chronic pain. So and cannabis is a great application for that. You know, on the wellness side, people are very interested. I've seen some of your product reviews, and, you know, also our Quita wellness line is something that we think appeals to women around the world.
Quita.
Would love to try it.
Yeah, Jen is a product review specialist, so definitely get some Quita beauty products for her.
Yeah. What makes your product different?
Yeah.
For the ladies.
It makes you feel good.
Ooh.
No, what makes our products different in operating in a place like Colombia, every product that we have to produce has to be federally reviewed and approved. Unlike here in the United States, there is no FDA or USDA for any of these products, so the quality variables are off the charts. For us, it's very, very high quality, and that's why people like it, and that's why we're getting repeat customers.
Fantastic.
And Quita, as I understand, is is KHIRON's way of getting into the U.S. market through this beauty line, correct?
Yeah, we originally launched it in Colombia. We just launched 2 weeks ago in California. We just got the product approved for the UK with the UK authorities. So it's a global brand. Quita means care in Spanish. And we have now 10 SKUs in that product line. Look for a lot more coming. At the core of that product is the technology called CB-Derm, and that's the transdermal technology to get CBD into your skin, which is, you know, anti-inflammatory and hydrating qualities that people seek.
So what's like the next big thing for you guys looking into 2020? We're wrapping up 2019. What can we expect?
Well, we always said that we were going to be the dominant player in Latin America, and, you know, whether you measure that by products on shelves, revenues, people, jurisdictions, I think we've started to achieve that, but we never said that we weren't going to take on the rest of the world. So, you know, we recently just opened up in Germany. We just got awarded the largest medical trial in the history of the world is called 2021. That's taking place in the UK. The UK obviously is a fabulous market, 55 million people. It's opening up so quickly. It's really, really exciting. That's 20,000 patients. There's only 5 companies taking part of it, and we're one of them. And, you know, I think it's an example of the quality of our people, the quality of our products, and that we can consistently punch above our weight.
That's huge. I love that saying too. Big boxing fan. And, you know, that's big themes have been, one, there needs to be more clinical trials, more testing, because for so long it's been a banned substance that we don't understand enough about it, and the consumer mainly doesn't have enough education about it. And 2, chronic pain. So many people that have been dealing with this that come on our show and discuss it. So it's great to hear another player working on that. My question to you is, with all the education needed for these big issues that, you know, people globally are dealing with, like you mentioned, is there a stigma that also exists in Latin America, the same that it kind of does in the States, in moving this product forward to help people?
I think there is, but I think that's coming down very, very quickly. And you know the whole history around that, and the prohibition of cannabis, and is rooted in bigotry and racism, and that is crumbling down. But they did a great PR job for about 85 years in convincing us that it was bad. So that all has to be torn down. But an interesting stat for you would be, like, you know, who is actually using cannabis the most? Between 2007 and 2017, the number one growth demographic was 65 plus. That grew 1,000%. Number 2 to that is 60 to 65, and that grew 800% over that same time period.
Wow.
And it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. People have aches and pains and different needs, and most of our healthcare spending is in the last 10% of our lives. Not saying that 65-year-olds are only living another 10% of them, but
Hang in there, guys.
hang in. But I think that it speaks a lot about where this market is going, and that people that live through the worst part of the Nancy Reagan war on drugs are the first ones to adopt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I always thought, people think about Colombia, Pablo Escobar, Medellin. Is there a more lax attitude around marijuana and its ancillary products because of that, or is it still sort of stigmatized as in the culture?
I don't think it's much of a stigma. Narco season 2 didn't do much for us. It didn't help us out a lot.
I enjoyed it.
Colombia's obviously a very big place. It's 55 million people. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. It's as diverse as the country that we're in today. It's very different from place to place that you go. But I would say that cannabis is just not that popular. It's not. I was just in California last week. It's where you see cannabis everywhere. In Colombia, you don't see it really anywhere. Only 10% of adults in Colombia have ever tried it.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not like where I come from in Canada, where everybody tries it.
We're 100% of adults. Yeah.
It's mandatory in some jurisdictions. It's a lot of education. It's a lot of telling people, like even with our creams, will this get me high? Does it smell
My
like...
elbow get high?
Which you don't, of course, with any of our wellness products. But, it's a lot of education. It's education on the consumer side. It's education on the medical side for sure. We've done deals with medical associations across all of our jurisdictions, and doctors won't prescribe what their medical association doesn't endorse. So we've worked very, very hard to educate those, and we've got endorsements from all of the ones that we want. And that's really when I realized what a massive opportunity this was. It was February 2018. I went down for a neuropathic symposium in Colombia, in Bogota. It was my first trip down there. I'd never been. I thought that we'd be sitting in a room with 20 or 30 doctors. I walked into the brand new Hilton Hotel downtown Bogota. There was 400 doctors and clinicians in the room.
Wow.
And at the end of the night, at the end of the day, the hotel staff are flashing the lights on and off to get everyone out of there. And that's when I realized, holy smokes, there's a lot of demand here. People are really interested. Maybe there's an investment theme here. And a few months later, I joined the company. It's been fun ever since.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
And seeing 400 people at a neuropathic symposium has got to be a sign, if any, that there's something to catch on here.
There was free coffee.
Oh, well, now it's sullied, yeah.
Well, we really believe in cannabis education as well. So that's why we kind of started our show, but to educate all generations about cannabis and the benefits and all the positivity that comes from it.
It's such a shame that so many negative things come out of this.
So many negative things.
And when it provides such wellness for people and well-being for people of all types. And if you're consuming it just for relaxation and wellness, that's great. But there's a lot of people that really need this stuff. And
Totally.
the category we talked about is PTSD and some of the work that's gone on there. It's really, really promising. And these are the people that fight for our lives, and we should do everything we can to support them.
Couldn't agree more.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, speaking of which, Jen and I were on the street interviewing some people, getting some kind of man on the street, thoughts of New Yorkers, and we actually ran into a couple war vets from Vietnam, from World War II, and they were both massive cannabis and CBD enthusiasts and supporters because of what it's done for their PTSD.
Yeah.
I guess my question to you is to get that into their hands and get them access to it. I know a big hurdle is getting the insurance companies to be convinced that it's something they should cover and something safe and worthwhile. What does KHIRON need to do to help that process occur?
So it started with the medical associations and building up that body of evidence and building those endorsements, because the insurance companies don't really care what we think. They really think what the doctors think. So we worked very, very hard for 2 years with them. We just launched our first pilot program with an insurance company called Sura. They insure 3.7 million lives in Latin America. Our pilot program right now is for 450 people. That is ongoing right now in our own clinics. We own clinics in Colombia.
You own your own clinics?
We own our own clinics. We have 60 full-time physicians. We have 120,000 current patients. We're just about to launch our third clinic called Zerenia. It's a massive clinic in Bogota, 4 stories. It's you'll see that all coming out in the next little while. But we went in there with firm evidence that says, listen, this helps people. It provides a lot of wellness for them. It's an alternative or an addition to what you're already doing. And by the way, you're an insurance company. You might just save a little bit of money by prescribing this, by prescribing opioids or other remedies. So you just got to show them the math, and they're pretty practical.
And that's what it'll come down to, is the bottom line for them. It is a cheaper
100%.
alternative to creating synthetic drugs, is by harvesting this plant. And It's going to save the insurance company money. That's the best argument I've heard so far for them to get on board.
And that's right, and that's why we founded the company in Colombia. You know, when I'm from Canada, we $60 billion has gone to the cannabis industry there, and I always thought from the beginning is like there must be a reason why we don't grow coffee and coconuts in warehouses in Mississauga, Ontario. Like, you know, it's an inhospitable environment,
right?
And you know, so let's start where it grows naturally, where the climate is conducive for this, and then build from there.
Definitely. Any takeaways that you would like to, tell the audience out there about you guys, or what's next, or anything that we should be on the lookout for?
You know, our focus has always been on patients and consumers, and you know, I'm a big fan of Amazon and how they just listen to the consumer, and maybe they listen too much. But you know, we're laser focused on listening to patients and consumers and trying to provide them what they need. So we've launched here in the United States. We hope to get a product review for you, and a favorable one at that. And look for us to do big things.
Awesome! Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out.
Yeah, me too.
Yay.
I'm excited to hear what Jen says. I'm also excited to see what you guys do in Brazil. I know that they've just legalized medical cannabis, so I'm sure you guys are making major moves in that space as well.
100%. Brazil's a market of 240 million people. For sure, it's going to be the largest medical market in the world.
Wow.
And we've been down there for the last 18 months getting ready for it.
Prepping boots on the ground.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's huge. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, of course, being out here in New York. We've had so much fun getting into your mind, really learning about what's happening internationally in the cannabis industry.
Yeah, guys, Chris Naprawa, President, KHIRON Life Sciences.
Yes.
Check them out. More to come. A lot of exciting stuff internationally. Thanks so much for being here, Chris.
Definitely. We want to follow the Instagram as well.
That's right.
At KHIRON Life.
At KHIRON Life. You heard it here
KHIRON
first. All right, so keep your radar locked in on them.
Yep. Watch. Watch out for that company, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
Chris. Thanks.